Nick, Slevin, Clark Kent, whatever the fuck your name is.
In 1989, the same year that Taylor Swift was born, the world met an even doughier-eyed girl whose songs got even more stuck in your head. The Little Mermaid. Travel under the sea, mopes around Asgard in a Snuggie because he's still hung up on a girl he spent one long weekend with and hasn't called in 2 years. Ari, Kung Fu Jesus, female Keanu Reeves.
I'm Slevin.
You got some ID?
See, the funny thing about that is that I got mugged this morning.
Hey, look. Tell it to the one-legged man so he can bump it off down the road.
Instead of Earth's mightiest hero, you weren't that
Today?
But I'm not Nick.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for you, you're not the first cat to tell me you wasn't the guy.
Holy sh! Who knew Captain America kicked so much ass? Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Tided fans over until the Avengers. Now experience the film that will tide fans over until the Avengers 2. Thor: The Dark World.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Man, I
Watch.
ain't asking nobody nothing. Nick, Slevin, Clark Kent, whatever the fuck your name is. The Virgin Mary herself could come waltzing up in here with her fine ass, titties hanging out and everything. And if she told me your name was Jesus Christ, I still gotta take you to see the boss. You know what?
Hello.
No.
I don't masturbate in a trailer.
It's not nearly 8 o'clock yet.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Man, I ain't
Watch.
asking nobody nothing. Nick, Slevin, Clark Kent, whatever the fuck your name is. The Virgin Mary herself could come waltzing up in here with her fine ass, titties hanging out and everything. And if she told me your name was Jesus Christ, I still gotta take you to see the boss.
But of course, that's the first place you
Loki,
sent me to.
Golden Guardian who can see everything, except for the spy and Thor's girlfriend.
Can't see her.
And he's not kicking ass or taking names. Follow Cap as we've been waiting for.
Man, I ain't asking nobody nothing. Nick, Slevin, Clark Kent, whatever the
Rupert
fuck your
Murdoch.
name is. The Virgin Mary herself could come waltzing up in here with her fine ass, titties hanging out and everything. And if she
exactly
told me your
the right
name
place
was
at the right
Jesus
time.
Mopes around Asgard in a Snuggie because he's still hung up on a girl he spent one long weekend with and hasn't called in 2 years.
Orders. Now you do know what orders is, right?
I think I got the
Orders.
concept.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
And prepare for the Thinking Man's action franchise that got stuck way too far up its own ass by the
Yeah,
end
I
of.
get it. But I thank the Lord Jesus Christ that me and Saint Rose can help deliver people in
Exactly
Saint
the
Rose.
right
So I
place at the
had
right
to.
time.
Mopes around Asgard in a Snuggie because he's still hung up on a girl he spent one long weekend with and hasn't called in 2 years. Part 2.
While this sensor functioned, it was obviously fundamentally flawed, thus creating the otherwise contradictory systemic anomaly that, if left unchecked, might threaten the system itself. Ergo, those that refuse...
I have no idea what he's talking about. Is it too late for me to take the blue pill? Silva, the
What was I
Bond,
supposed to do? Just let him die?
spends his free time freaking out kids at museums, hanging with his gilf, and catching up on the last 60 years of pop culture. To Vanaheim, to Svartalf, to Asgard, home of the most impenetrable city ever. And so ride up. Thank you. Travel across the 9 realms, ranging from Earth.
The Virgin Mary herself could come waltzing up in here with her fine ass, titties hanging out and everything. And if she told me your name
I'm a
was
dumb
Jesus Christ,
mermaid who doesn't know Don't know what this is or that is either.
The obligatory villains, tush, and pixelated balls. Starring returns as Jean Grey from the X-Men Phoenix Saga, with the help of her wacky side hopeful Superman.
Nick, Slevin, Clark Kent, whatever the fuck your name is. The Virgin Mary herself could come waltzing up in here with her fine ass, titties hanging out.
He wants to get caught, but makes it nearly impossible to find him.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Nice little transmitting
Watch.
device to be fitted into the heel of your shoe.
He will use the
sure that they're planting the seed subliminally in the minds of the people that someone is attempting to get at Barack Obama. They have now arrested another man outside of the White House that had a rifle and ammunition in his car. Now, this is highly suspect because the mainstream media is not all over this one. They were all over the guy that kicked the dogs and the guy that made it to the front door and then got in.
I think
Orders.
I've spent my entire life looking for you.
Try to relax. This will feel a little weird. He is the one.
Prince Eric, because he's hot.
He's very handsome, isn't he? He's so beautiful.
The only thing
These
swimming in
recent
their
fence
way.
jumpers that tried to make it through but didn't. And now we're coming to find out, oh, let's not forget there were shots fired at the White House that they didn't want to talk about forever that I also exposed in a video. But now this man, and this is what's highly suspect. I'll leave a link like always. You guys can read the detail. But this guy, his name is R.J. Kafame. He is 41-year-old from Davenport, Iowa.
Gotcha.
Get a room, you two.
Where were you? What was I
Natalie
supposed to do? Just let him die?
Maybe. Can wait. Watch, but this time for destroying American property.
That's a $12 million piece of hardware.
It was.
It's the Canadian coming right for us. Everybody
What was I
run!
supposed to do? Just let him die?
Maybe. Watch sepia tone and ships shaped like wangs.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
The charismatic trickster who no one should trust by now.
You still don't trust me, brother, would you?
This man was arrested after he approached uniformed officers on 15th Street just before 1 p.m. And he explained that someone in Iowa told him to drive to the White House. This is where it gets a little crazy. Sounds like this individual may not have wanted to even do this. Who in their right mind that's going to pull up to the White House with a gun and ammunition hops out of the car and walks down the street and approaches the police and tells them someone sent me here from Iowa. Told me to drive to the White House. He later
I ain't asking nobody nothing. Nick, Slevin, Clark Kent, whatever the fuck your name is. And if she told me your name was Jesus
showed
Christ,
them the car parked nearby and let the officers search the vehicle. That's where they found a rifle, ammunition, and a 6-inch knife in a 2013 Volkswagen Passat. Now he faces charges of having an unregistered firearm in the District of Columbia.
They just copied him a bunch of times instead of coming up with another cool bad guy. Watch as these two battle in this awesomely choreographed kung fu fight. Then, in this CGI bullshit, it'll only take the length of one Adele song.
Nick, Slevin, Clark Kent, whatever the fuck your name is.
The Traumatize Your Kids song.
Killing fish! Yes, we show children this, even though the heroes are all fish. Like if they made sushi of Nemo and Dory, you'd have something as messed up as these.
Exactly the right
And
place
the one
for her.
mopes around Asgard in a Snuggie because he's still hung up on a girl he spent one long weekend with and hasn't called in 2 years.
Nobody,
I
nothing.
think I got
Orders.
it.
An antagonist with a plan so complex. In order to defeat Zod,
What was
Superman
I supposed
must
to do?
decide
Just let him die?
for his back in another perfectly adequate Marvel movie that pleasantly killed a few hours and her other wacky sidekick's wacky sidekick junkies. They'll discover be sure to subscribe for more honest trailers. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Clever girl. Scruffle monkey giggle bottoms. Why do these people keep telling me to say things that don't make sense? King Kong ain't got shit on me. From the first film, the one sequence you liked from the second, and absolutely nothing from the third. Jack into the Matrix, a virtual reality simulation of the late 90s, full of flip phones, pay phones, mini discs.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Message is kind of sexist. Girls don't need brain cells, just pick up seashells. Also don't be fat, but you'll ignore that, cause it's catchy.
Waltzing up in here with a fine ass, titties hanging out and everything. And if she told me your name was Jesus Christ...
The Little Waistline. This movie would have played out way differently if her top half was a fish instead. Skyfall from Scooby-Doo. Gigantic spaceship directly above him. The Warriors 3, who are scared when Bond is abruptly... The Matrix and its sequels. You know it's a bad sign when your video game and direct-to-DVD cartoon are better than your movies. And we've got to. Thor: The Dark World.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Keep you from wondering, why does the Elfman want to shoot magic Kool-Aid into the sky holes? Get the turn. They'll face off against Agent Smith, a villain so English. The Nutty Professor, an Oscar, Ken Jennings, and which of his two Robin Hood dads to listen to? Space Dad says where it all went wrong. Convergence, a piece of science mumbo-jumbo everyone keeps trying to explain.
Once a cycle, all the worlds align.
The alignment is only temporary. He must...
Waltzing up in here with a fine ass, titties hanging out and everything.